Welcome to Middle Class Matters. Today, 22nd June 2023, Business News in English on the report of the expert committee constituted by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, part number 14. Para 118. SEBI submitted comparative data about other stocks from other parts of the world with sharp price movements. The committee does not intend to compare price rise trends across stocks across industries, since the committee's remit is not to examine whether the price rise was justified, whereas its remit is to ascertain if there was a regulatory failure, whether what a reasonable regulator ought to do when faced with such trends was done is the question to ask, and it is apparent that SEBI was actively engaged with the developments and price movements in the market. All the submissions of SEBI in this regard are contained in the accompanying compilation of submissions. Para number 119. SEBI also submitted that it examined whether there has been any unusual trading pattern proximate to the release of the Hindenburg report, that is during the period January 18, 2023 to January 31, 2023. While there was no adverse observation with respect to Adani scripts in the cash segment, suspicious trading has been observed on the part of 6 entities. These are 4 FPIs, not from among the 12 FPIs suspected in relation to minimum public shareholding, 1 body corporate and 1 individual. Para 120. The trading pattern here is suspicious because of the buildup of short positions by these entities in the Adani scripts prior to the Hindenburg report and substantial profits earned by them by squaring off their short positions after publication of the Hindenburg report on January 24, 2023. Para 121. A detailed investigation is being carried out in respect of the trading of the aforesaid 6 entities. These being matters under investigation and the factual findings at this stage being prima facie in nature, the committee is not dwelling into the details and names of these persons or commenting upon the quality of the prima facie evidence. The committee wishes to ensure that the position of the respective parties, including SEBI, is not compromised either way when investigations are pending. Para 122. As regards the trading period between April 1, 2018 and December 31, 2022, the calendar month prior to the publication of the Hindenburg report, the committee learned that a total of 849 alerts had been received from the automated system in respect of Adani Group scripts. These include online alerts, complaints and references, and were examined by stock exchanges applying the factors listed at the start of this subchapter. Para 123. The examination has not been entirely passive, since the intrusive efforts such as examination of promoter pledge, KYC details of the investors, bank statements of investors taken from brokers and the like have been studied. Para 124. These regulatory interventions have led to the stock exchanges submitted 3 examination reports to SEBI, on which work is in progress. Details of these examination reports are summarized below. Serial number 1, Adani Green Energy Limited. Period of examination is March 1, 2021 to June 30, 2021. Date of receipt of report June 2, 2022. 2. Adani Power Limited. February 1, 2022 to April 30, 2022. Submitted on December 20, 2022. 3. Adani Green Energy Limited. February 21, 2022 to April 20, 2022. Submitted on January 3, 2023. Para 125. SEBI has submitted that out of the total 849 alerts, 603 alerts were related to price volume movements, while the remaining 246 alerts were related to suspected insider trading. The 603 alerts were closed after processing the same as per approved the standard operating procedures, and the 246 alerts were processed from the perspective of suspected insider trading and have led to the aforesaid 3 reports submitted to SEBI. para 1 to 6. Upon queries from the committee for more granular information on how SEBI has handled the alerts and the journey between the alerts and the eventual views taken on them, SEBI presented at the submission made on April 26, 2023, a detailed tabular grid taking trading in shares of Adani Enterprises Limited as an illustration. Para 1 to 7. The charts presented in this regard are part of the compilation of submissions and specifics are not being elaborated in this report. However, in a nutshell, A. The price of AEL shares between March 1, 2020 and December 31st, 2022 increased from Rs 219 to Rs 3,859. B. The period has been divided into 4 patches on the basis of price movements and trading in these patches has been analyzed. C. In patch 1, March 01, 2020 to August 31st, 2020, the FPIs suspected as linked to Adani Group were net buyers for around 1.25 crore shares, but this was a small proportion of the total delivery quantity in this patch at 11.73 crore shares. D. Analysis of the buyers responsible for the highest contribution to the LTP showed that these FPIs did not figure among them. In this patch, the purchases by these FPIs could be said to have contributed to an increase from the LTP by less than 0.1%, meaning thereby it cannot be reasonably alleged that these FPIs were indulging in artificial price rise since the purchases appears to be almost at prevailing market price. E. The top 25 net LTP contributors collectively contributed only around 15.26% to the LTP, with no single entity contributing more than 5%. F. As regards patch 2, September 1st to 2020 to September 30, 2020, Life Insurance Corporation was the largest net seller, having sold 50 lakh shares of the stock. Large and well-known FPIs and mutual funds were net buyers in this patch. G. The top 25 net LTP contributors collectively contributed 14.82% of the LTP, with no single entity contributing significantly more than 5%. H. The next segment, that is patch 3, October 1st, 2020 to March 31, 2021, saw the price rise from around Rs 300 to Rs 1031. I. The top net buyers were large and well-known FPIs and mutual funds, and they bought around 1 crore shares. J. FPIs from among those suspected of being linked to Adani, 2 purchased in this patch, but a minuscule component. The top 25 net LTP contributors collectively contributed only around 14.14% to the LTP, with no single entity contributing more than 5%. K. Finally, in patch 4, April 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022, in which the price shot up from around Rs 1031 to Rs 3,859, the largest net buyer was LIC, buying around 4.8 crore shares. L. The FPIs under watch were actually among the top net sellers, having sold around 8.6 crore shares during this patch where the price rose, rendering it impossible to conclude that they had a hand in the price rise. M. The top 25 net LTP contributors collectively contributed only around 13.89% to the LTP, with no single entity contributing more than 5%. N. Though no single entity had contributed significantly to LTP across the patches, one entity appeared across the different patches among us, the top 25 net LTP contributors. Therefore, the trading activity of the said entity in the Adani stocks as compared with trading across all other stocks in these periods was analyzed. The trading concentration in Adani stocks range from 1.24% to 3.08% of its total trading, which is insignificant and not unusual. Para 128. As a result, it was submitted by SEBI that while the price rise of shares of Adani Enterprises Limited rose as discussed above, no evident pattern of manipulative contribution to price rise could be attributed to any single entity or group of connected entities. Para 129. The committee has asked SEBI to prepare similar charts with data across all the Adani stocks and present the same for analysis. This can be work in progress, as indeed is the intended probe into those who built short positions just ahead of the publication of the Hindenburg report and profited from the price crash upon publication on January 24, 2023. Committee's conclusions. Para 130. As stated earlier, the committee's remit is not to examine whether the price rise was justified, whereas its remit is to ascertain if there was a regulatory failure. It is apparent that SEBI was actively engaged with the developments and price movements in the market. Para 131. The committee notes that all such investigations must be completed in a time-bound manner. At this stage, taking into account the explanations provided by SEBI, supported by empirical data, prima facie, it would not be possible for the committee to conclude that there has been a regulatory failure around the allegation of price manipulation. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, give your comments. Thanks for watching.